Hey guys, welcome to a recap of Jewish Matchmaking, episode 7. So the song goes on. We open up with this episode with a couple who's been together for over 60 years and they are still so much in love. Isn't that the goal? That is the goal for sure. So let's get into this episode because we finally get to see Nakisha on her date, y'all. And she's on a date with Ryan. Ryan is bald. So I was a little bit nervous once this date was getting started. So they are bonding with each other over ribs. She's opening up and sharing how important rollerblading is to her. They're in a rollerblading rink. So she shares with him that she's met her best friend in a rollerblading rink. She's been rollerblading since she was 3, and also her parents, they actually met each other at a rollerblading rink. So it's super important to her. And he shares as well how family oriented he is, piggybacking off of her being very close to her family and family being important. So he is super family oriented. He is super close to his brother. The reason why he got into special education is because his brother has a learning disability. So that's why that is so near and dear to his art. Overall, he sounds like a really good person, very sweet, very considerate. I really did like how he considered her, offering her help, putting on her shoes and everything. And I thought that was so sweet. So I had high hopes for this date, and I felt like this date was going pretty well. So now we get to see our new single, and his name is Stuart. He is from Chicago. He is 51 years old. He owns an advertising company, but he also really likes to play music. He considers himself a musician. He has such a big personality, and Elisa is very excited to begin helping with him because he has such a big personality. So what we learn about him is that he's a serial monogamous. He doesn't know why he's still single. He felt like he should have been married by now, but he has such a high standard because of his parents. They are so in love with each other, and he feels that, the bar was so set super high by them. So that's probably why he's still single. He is looking for someone who is not very religious, but culturally Jewish. He doesn't want anyone who has more than 4 kids, and he doesn't want anyone with more than 2 cats. And I thought already this guy, he's so hilarious, such a big personality, very open minded. He is looking specifically for someone who's Democrat, because he wants to share political values such as understanding gay marriage, no racial stuff, no he wants pro-choice. So all that in mind for him, for who he wants to date. Now, he also wants someone who's passionate about something, which I felt like, okay, he wants someone who has a love for life, okay? Overall, he seems very flexible, so much to the point that he's open to Aliza making a choice for him on who he goes on a date with that he could possibly end up marrying. So Alisa, she's super excited, and she thinks the first step before he gets into dating is that she goes and look at his wardrobe to see if he's actually ready to go on a date with someone presentably. So she goes and look at his closet, and what we learn is that nothing fits and he needs help ASAP. Okay, so Alisa is here to help him, and I'm just really looking forward to see how he goes forward on his date because he seems like a really great sweet person. So I look forward to see more updates from Stuart. So we're now in Miami, and the reason why we're in Miami, Aliza calls over Nakisha to come over to meet a new gentleman over here in Miami. What we learn is that unfortunately the date between Ryan and Nakisha was giving friend vibes. So she is excited to show Nakisha a new person that she feels is going to be a great connection. So what we learn about this guy, his name is Evan. He is 37. He has hair, and I know that was important for Nakisha because she wants to give her kids hair, okay? He is a wedding DJ, super fun. He's also a grocery manager. He is 5'6", which kind of made Nakisha kind of have a look. And, Aliza is really standing up for this guy, Evan, because she feel like it's going to be such a great connection. So Nikisha is going to be open minded about it. So we'll see if those two will connect. So now we're back in Chicago for Stuart, and we get to see Stuart get a whole new wardrobe, become a whole new man. And Lord, he needed it because his clothes didn't fit, and he ended up after this process having clothes that properly fit him, that do him justice. So he is definitely now ready for a date. So that was amazing to see. So we're over at Tel Aviv, and we get to meet our new single, Noah. Now, Noah looked like a little baby to me. And guys, he's talking with his friends and he's telling his friends that, he's ready to settle down. And his friends are saying, well, if you're going to settle down, have someone that's lively because you get bored very easily. So at least it's going to have a sit down with Noah. And what we learn is that Noah is only 24 and is ready to be married. That is like amazing and such a big decision to make at such a young age, especially since his friends kind of consider him like a go-getter, life of the party type. So Aliza is really assessing Noah, really testing to see if he's truly, truly invested of wanting to settle down. And he makes it clear. He's like, he's done with the nightlife, he's done with the clubbing scene, and he's ready to settle down with the one. So he shares with Aliza who is he looking for. So he's looking for someone who's kind of religious, but he doesn't mind if they're more religious than him because he sees it as a good quality for him. Maybe will motivate him to push him more into his religion. So he's taking the advice that Shia didn't, which is, you know, marrying up, okay? So he is open minded to that. He wants someone who's adventurous, spontaneous, also his best friend, and all the qualities he's naming and saying and focusing on. It shows me that he's more into not so much more into the physical, but more into the person and their traits. He shared that he wants someone who loves animals, someone who loves Italian food, and then Aliza has to ask him, so what do you want her to physically look like? So that's when he then emphasized, he says that he wants someone with a European look, someone who's active and fit. But he doesn't go and say like blonde, blue eyes. He doesn't say all this. He just says that, let her have a European look, let her be attractive, active and fit. Okay. So he doesn't mind going on a blind date. So it's really Aliza's choice. And I'm actually very excited for him. So now we get to see the new improved Stuart go on a date with Hope. And you guys, I had high hope for this date, but it wasn't moving as smoothly as I thought it would. Cause Stu is a funny guy, and yeah, she was laughing, but I felt like it was not how I imagined it to go. So Stu, his expectations like, okay, let it not be an interview. But why did he give it interview vibes? Like he was asking questions about, okay, what do you do for work? Getting to know her like on a professional level, where I felt like it should have been more relaxed. You guys are grown. You guys, already settled into your ways. What are your hobbies? What are your interests? What type of food do you like? That kind of conversation. So even though he made her laugh and she seemed to have a good time, in the confessional, Stuart was like, communication was quite off for him. He wasn't really feeling the date, but he ended the date by signing off a CD with his autograph. And I was like, come on, Stuart. I'm like, Aliza, you need to help this man ASAP. I was so confused. I wanted to die when he offered to sign a CD for her because it would cost less. I'm like, oh my gosh. So, anywho, we then get to see Noah on his blind date with Alyssa. And they're gonna ride Doombug. So they're in a Doombug together, and he finds her cute. And we're learning a little bit about her. She's a vegan, and I said, oh no. Oh no, no, no. I just don't think it never works when you have a vegan with someone who eats meat. How is that supposed to work? You can't even sit over a plate of food and eat together, really. I have yet to see that. If you guys have, let me know down in the comments below, but I don't think that's something that works. I feel like that was just not a good match for me automatically. So the red flag for him, when he said it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. She's vegan. He likes to cook his Italian food. Like, what is she's gonna eat? And on top of that, she has two cats. So that was a red flag. Okay, vegan and two cats. I could not have agreed more with Noah. Noah, you're so right, so spot on. So, anyways, he's still a gentleman. They continue the date. They have a picnic, and he brings food for the date, not knowing that she's a vegan. So he brings olives, cheese, and red wine. She could eat the olives, but she can't have the cheese that go with the olives that goes with the red wine. But she doesn't like red wine. So this is such a terrible day. I feel so bad. He thinks she is nice, but it's not really for him. And then that's when he ultimately says that, he doesn't really like the curly hair. So that's gonna be good information to give back to Aliza. He needs to add on the list that, he needs someone who likes meat, someone who's doesn't have curly hair, no cats. Okay, so that would be perfect update to give to Aliza. But I do look forward to seeing more updates on his dating experience with finding his match, hopefully ending up into marriage. Now, after watching this episode, it made me think about the other couples. We have yet to find a perfect match. I would like to know what's going on with Ori, what's going on with Danny, what's going on with Harmony, what's going on, Aliza. So stay tuned, guys, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to more recaps of Jewish matchmaking because I need to see how this ends. And you guys are here in this journey with me too as well. So guys, if don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, share as much kindness as possible. Take care, guys, and have a good one. Bye.